A very good evening to you and welcome to Primetime News on MTV Sports live from the News First studios in Colombo. I'm Nadim Majid.
A very good evening. I'm Mahina Bonzo.
Now, in light of tomorrow's trade union island-wide trade union action against the increased electricity tariffs, convening a media briefing in Colombo today, the National Movement for Electricity Consumers says that the CEB has the capability to generate more hydropower than originally planned.
We have the details of this and more later on the news.
But first, a look at tonight's headlines. Bus strike continues. National Transport Commission says that strike action is unsuccessful and that the route permits of buses that engaged in the strike action will be cancelled. A group of trade unions to stage a one-day strike against the electricity tariff hike tomorrow. Teldaniyaya in Mahiangania in partial darkness for 17 years. A suspect dies at the Bamlapitia police station.
Moving on to the stories in detail now. The strike action initiated by the All Ceylon Private Bus Operators Federation at midnight yesterday is still underway. However, the Lanka Private Bus Owners Association is yet to pledge their support to this strike action. Meanwhile, issuing a communique, the National Transport Commission announced that the passenger service permit of buses that participated in the strike by violating the rights of passengers will be annulled.
About 65% of buses are not in operation. This is a first step. The next step could be stronger. The All Ceylon Private Bus Operators Federation commenced a strike at midnight yesterday, demanding a 10% bus fare hike in accordance with the national policy on bus fares. However, this was what could be witnessed in several areas today.
I
have clearly said that there would be no bus service strike today. The people and the government have understood once again today that the Lanka Private Bus Owners Association is a broad and strong association. Listen to this. These are the problems of the private bus owners. Therefore, listen and resolve these problems. This cannot be done based on the views of those who ingratiate themselves. We do not ingratiate ourselves before the government. We have not done this before, we will not do it today, and we will not do such a thing tomorrow. We know that there is a certain conspiracy behind the declaration of this strike. We ask that the subject minister intervene. He must intervene and resolve this problem so that the people will not be inconvenienced and the bus service industry can move forward. We are not asking for subsidies. The government promised us a 7% hike. This conspiracy is being implemented to sweep it aside. We did not initiate this strike as an experiment. When they act like fools and proclaim bus service strikes that are unsuccessful, our reputation is also gone. Come to me and learn about strike actions. Ask the chairman to come out of the air-conditioned rooms of the commission and look at the roads. He is lying from inside his house. He said at first that even if 10 buses do not operate, he would resign. What has been done here is that even the other buses have been affected and passengers have been attracted to the SLTB railway service. The National Transport Commission will halt the operations of buses belonging to those involved in this. We will hand over the road permits belonging to me and our secretary. We challenge them to cancel the permits if they can. Meanwhile, the Coordination Committee for Trade Union Alliance says that the strike action organized tomorrow in protest of the electricity tariff hike will go ahead as planned. However, Minister of Labour and Labour Relations Gamini Lokuge has called on the labour force to work together with the government.
රජය කැමැත්තෙන් ඒ කටයුත්ත කරන්නේ නැහැ.
The government did not do this because it wanted to. The government wants to facilitate the people, but we have had to face things like the increase in oil prices in the world market. That is why this has happened. Therefore, we appeal to the people, to the working classes, not to be deceived. We ask that they work together with the government to build the country.
අන්තිම ආයතනයක් කරන්නේ මේවට රැවටෙන්නේ නැතුව රට ගන්න ගන්න රජයත් එක්ක එකතු වෙලා ක්‍රියා කරන්න කියන්නේ අපි සමනාස ලැබුණා.
ආරම්භක සංකේතාත්මක ක්‍රියාමාර්ගය තමයි.
The symbolic beginning of this campaign will commence on the 21st. We will definitely commence a struggle where we will not pay our electricity bills. The success or failure of this strike will not be determined by numbers. Let us calculate the numbers after tomorrow.
ඉලක්කම් වලින් නෙමෙයි ගණන් හදන්නේ. ඉලක්කම් වල ගණන් හදමු ඕන අපි හෙටින් පස්සේ සොය ව්‍යාපාරයේ මේ රටේ සිංහයෝ නරියන්ගේ අභියෝග බාරගන්නේ.
Meanwhile, various views were expressed on the strike action scheduled to be carried out tomorrow.
Tomorrow's strike action cannot be stopped. There is only one way to do this. Issue a circular annulling the electricity price hikes. Make the decision public through the media. If not, we will carry out our trade union action.
සංවිධානය කරලා තියෙන ක්‍රියාවලිය ඒ විදිහට සාර්ථකව අපි ඉස්සරහට අරන් යනවා.
විදුලි බිල අඩු කර ගැනීම සඳහා ගෙනියන සටනක් නෙවෙයි.
This is not a battle to lower electricity tariffs. We need to state this with responsibility. Political parties that cannot work together are thinking on how to topple this government.
අද සාකච්ඡා කරන්නේ මොනවා ගැන? කෙසේ හෝ මේ ආණ්ඩුවේ ගමන නවත්තන්න.
එහෙම තුන්හිතකවත් අපි කාගේවත්.
We have no such intentions. This trade union action is aimed at reducing the electricity tariffs. If the proposed electricity tariffs are annulled, then we will call off the strike.
ඒට වැඩවත් දෙන්න පැවැත්වෙන එකක් නැහැ.
මේ ගෙනියන දෙවන්ත සංවර්ධන ව්‍යාපාරයේ කඩාකප්පල් කරන්න.
It is clear to everyone that the working masses will never fall prey to such petty political schemes. They will never be able to distribute the massive development drive of the government and the president through such moves.
අර්ථ කරන්න බෑ කියන කාරණාව අද හැමදෙනාටම පැහැදිලිලා තියෙනවා.
දැන් අදත් අපි පාසල් වල යද්දි සමහර
When we went to school even today, several teacher associations said that they will not support this action. However, as the Joint Committee for Teachers and Principals, we have travelled around the country to obtain support.
විදුහල්පති උරුදායක කරගන්න අවශ්‍ය කරන පියවර ගනිමින් තිබෙනවා.
සියලුම පාසල් හෙට All schools will function as usual tomorrow. If anyone supports this strike action, we will see them as an ingrate and not a teacher. What is the JVP's vision about education?
අකුවෙක් විදිහට ජනතා විමුක්ති පෙරමුණට අධ්‍යාපනයේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් තියෙන දැක්ම මොකක්ද?
සංවර්ධනය කියලා
They put on shows and portray it to be development. If they curb the spending on extravagant shows, there won't be any necessity to have amended the electricity tariffs. As university teachers, we need to reiterate that this battle does not merely belong to the working class.
මේ හුදෙක්ම වැඩ කරන ජනතාවගේ ප්‍රශ්නයක්ම නෙමෙයි. මේ වැඩ වර්ජනය අසාර්ථක කිරීම සඳහා
We will do everything in our power to stop this strike action because this is one which is aimed at toppling the government and dividing the country.
රජය වටන්න එහෙම නැත්නම් පොදු ජනතා අයිතිවාසිකම් බිඳ වැටලා රට බෙදෙන දිශාවට යොමු වෙන වැඩ වර්ජනයන් නිසා
කියන අපේ කිසිම දේශපාලන පක්ෂයකට සම්බන්ධ නැති වෘත්තීය සමිතිය.
Our trade union is not aligned to any political party. We call on the government not to distort this. We reached this decision after consulting with all trade unions.
සියලු ජනතාවට බලපාන ඉල්ලීමක්.
අද මේ රජයේ යුද්ධය ජයග්‍රහණය කළා.
This government won the war and is developing the country. We call on all sectors not to hinder the path of the country.
ඉතින් ඒ නිසා අපි කියන්නේ ඒ පෙරට යන රට ආරාජ්‍ය කරන්න එපා.
Now, journalists questioned as to why members representing the CEB trade unions were not present at a media briefing held to oppose tomorrow's strike action.
Will the members of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party Electricity Sector Trade Union attend this briefing before its conclusion?
ඔව් සහභාගී
They have agreed to be present here.
දැන් ගෙදර ඉන්න සනීප නැතුව එයා කියනවා මාධ්‍යවේදීන් කැමති නම් තුරකතරෙන් එයාට සම්බන්ධ වෙන්න කැමතියි කියලා.
දැන් ඔබතුමාට පුළුවන් නේද විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලයේ දැන් මොකද ඊට පෙර මාධ්‍ය හමුවේදී කිව්ව දැන් ආයතන මාර්තුකාදමේ විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලය.
The topic is the electricity tariffs. On an earlier media briefing, you said that members of the electricity sector trade unions will be present. We were expecting them. Can you assure that a strike will not take place in the electricity sector?
බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන හිටියා මේ ඔබතුමාට මොනවද සහතිකද දෙන්න පුළුවන් හෙට දිනේ විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලයේ මෙන්න දැන් වටිනක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා.
අපි ඒ වෙනුවෙන් ඒ සහෝදරියට තමයි එන්න කියලා තිබුණේ.
We invited an individual, but she had fallen sick. But she does not stand for all trade unions in the electricity sector.
ඒ සහෝදරියගේ වෘත්තීය සමිතියේ එකඟතාවය තමයි ඒ කියන්නේ.
While trade unions prepare for tomorrow's strike, the National Movement for Electricity Consumers says that as the Ceylon Electricity Board now has the capability to generate more hydropower than originally planned, there is no requirement for an increase in tariffs for those using up to 180 units of electricity. Speaking at a media briefing convened today, the advisor of the movement, Bandula Chandrasekhara, expressed these views.
ජල මට්ටම මේ වන විට 67ක වාර්තාගත ඉහළ මට්ටමකට
The water levels of power plants have risen to a record 67%. Water from catchment areas, which could provide up to 140 gigawatt hours, was supplied to the power plants on the 13th of May alone. This amounts to about 3 billion rupees. This is beneficial to the CEB. The CEB expected to produce roughly 2,828 gigawatt hours through hydropower. Our reservoirs have received enough water to produce nearly 4,000 gigawatt hours of electricity. Due to this, the CEB will gain an additional profit of 17 billion. Therefore, this benefit should be given to the domestic consumers and small-scale enterprises.
පාරිභෝගිකයන්ට වහම මේ ප්‍රතිලාභ
Pubudu Kapuge, who was placed first in the electrical and engineering category at the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair held in Arizona, USA, met President Mahinda Rajapaksa today upon returning to the island. A student of Mihintale Central College, Pubudu Kapuge met the president at Temple Trees.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa congratulated Pubudu Kapuge for bringing honour and pride to the motherland by becoming first in the electrical and engineering category at the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair in Arizona, USA. The ridge cutting machine invented by Pubudu that won him the award was shown to the president. 1,600 students from 60 countries across the world took part in the fair, which is considered as the largest science and engineering fair in the world.
On to more local news. The petition filed in the Court of Appeal claiming that the government is unjustly acquiring 6,381 acres of land in Walikhamam in the Jaffna district was taken up for hearing today.
The petition filed by 1,474 persons was taken up before the President of the Court of Appeal, Justice S. Kandaraja. Representing the petitioners in court today, President's Counsel Kanagadishwaram noted that the government is acting to expedite the acquisitions of these lands under Section 38 of the Land Acquisitions Act, citing it as an essential need. The President's Counsel requested permission from court to amend the petition to include this factor, as this step has been taken after the petition was filed.
The case with 1,474 petitioners challenging the Section 2 notice under the Land Acquisition Act in respect of 6,381 acres in Valigamam North was taken up in the Court of Appeal today. We had also brought to the notice of court that after we filed the case, Section 38A notice also was issued seeking to take over the land as a matter of urgency. So court has directed that we amend the petition, include relief to quash the 38A notice as well in addition to the Section 2 notice, and support the petition next Monday, the 27th.